Hello, everyone, and welcome to Week 7 of A Link to the Past Randomizer League Invitational. This is our final week of the regular season. Tonight we have Zaf and Karma of Crystal Roller Crew versus Ase and Trinex of 2Pearl2Furious. Unfortunately, this hasn't been 2Pearl2Furious' best year. Only one win. Sorry. And also joining me on comms tonight, we have me and DM and Makewater and Direction are doing our tracking tonight. How are you doing, DM?
I'm doing pretty well, all things considered. I got a couple of weeks off while everybody played modes that I'm not terribly conversant with and am not necessarily personally the biggest fan of, but Cross Keys, a very popular mode. Doors may have been a little more hit or miss with some people, but everybody got through it. We didn't wind up with any double forfeits last week, which was something that had been kind of joked about in certain circles as a possibility. That didn't happen, so huzzah, success. This, meanwhile, Crystal Roller Crew tonight with a win can seal themselves a playoff spot. Now there are some other things that can happen with other teams playing that causes them to get in even if they don't take a win in one of these two games against 2Pearl. Now, 2Pearl, unfortunately, you can see them sitting here at 3 points on the season. They have one win to their name. They are unfortunately kind of locked into that relegation spot and are playing for pride and the joy of the game. Trinex is a friend of mine, Owase, do not know nearly so well, but quality runners. They have been invitational in the past. They've been invitational this season. Expect them to put up a fight tonight.
Yeah. I mean, Crystal Roller Crew was last year's Open League winners, so also very, very talented. And returned with an unchanged team, which is... Oh, okay, so we have the Harrow Castle Small Key sitting in sync. So, of course, this is one of everybody's favorite modes of the year, Randomizer, where things just go completely wrong.
And not only that, everybody gets starting boots, so it's very easy to hug the Lionel practically as soon as you see it.
Yeah. It looked like it was a pendant for here. I didn't catch everything else.
That's all right. We have two lovely and wonderful trackers who I am sure have caught that information for us, and that way we can look smart later.
Yeah. Now, we are playing with a slightly different version of Randomizer than we have usually in the past. Karma gets swallowed up by the sand pit. That's bad. Was heading for Saha because he could get 3 items and check green pendant, but that's not going to happen.
And Karma is a bit of the Inemizer whisperer for Crystal Roller Crew. You don't normally expect to see him taking early bad deaths on the overworld, but every once in a while, Inemizer kind of bites back.
Yeah. Just some money on Lumberjack. Trinex has bombs, so we'll be able to see what's in New Dorkin. Now, we are playing with Logical Randomizer, which is kind of different. Ooh, Blue Mail. I expect all our randoms are probably going to... If they're in the area, they'll go good. Ooh, the lamp. That's always really nice. But basically, like unlike normal Randomizer, which historically had been done post C generation, so that it kind of swapped in a bunch of like specific killable enemies into a lot of the kill rooms. Logical Randomizer is done during C generation, so we can actually change where items are expected to be in terms of the flags. So we could see bow enemies early on in a dungeon. That means the bow has to be there.
Or at least has to be available somewhere before that.
Yeah. And conversely, I think I've seen a lot of lower times just because usually it just means we have earlier bow. We have earlier weapons just to deal with a lot of the enemies. But yeah, Lamp and Saha, all the runners will get that. The dark rooms in Saha in Randomizer are kind of a nightmare at times.
Lamp, one of those underrated safeties sometimes. Not only is it first fire in this case, but being able to see in the dark, especially when you no longer know what enemies are in that dark room, highly valuable.
Yeah, so I think there was must have been a mushroom up in the castle region. And Trinex turned that in for 300 rupees. I don't think OS is going to get that, but decent money for earlier on, especially for CAC.
At least it's one of those things, you know where it is. If Zora becomes really necessary later, you can go fetch it.
Yeah. Alright, so, yeah, see, what happened was Karma I must have taken a bop and they got stuck in there. I just could not get out. Of course, I say that there's money in the well, so. Early shield, you probably want to. You might want to. Money and a shield in the well. That's not the worst thing to pick up if something's on Bottle Hunter. Like an extra shield just to like give you that extra little bit of like. You don't have to worry about arrows. Oh look, there's a bunch of BMO statues guarding our bomb pushes. I'm scared of this chicken hut. Okay, just the shadows. I was afraid of wall. I know a wall master can't spawn in there, but.
I've always thought that would be a funny little programming change. If the Wall Master spawns on the overworld and catches you, it just takes you back to the house.
Yeah. Free heart container at the library. Runners will probably grab that just to cheer up some extra life early on.
Another one of those somewhat underrated safeties, particularly in Randomizer, where you can be running along the screen and just dash into something in the light world that does 3 or 4 hearts of damage. It's great.
Yeah. Zaf's gonna head for that, head for South Shore. And see, there's you can also see, because that was normally the bubble sprite that you see in the big huge chest room of Eastern Palace. That can now spawn in the overworld because of the flags we're using. Oh, the vulture just swarmed off screen, killing it. Alright, Moon Pearl and we have Dark World access. Uh, 900 rupees, both runners are probably going to go for Zora.
You may as well, now that you have the glove, it's in logic.
Yeah. But yeah, also in terms of like playoff pictures, right now, like the only thing that Crystal Roller Crew has to kind of like worry about in terms of like elimination is the only scenario where they can get eliminated from the playoffs. They are tied for first in the division, though I think they are technically in third place in the tiebreaker. If Crystal Roller Crew loses both of these matches, and then the Pugs lose against Used Bow, which is the team of Telethar, Structural, Mike, and Gem.
Which has not lost yet this season in any mode, in any format.
Yes. Then there is a chance that Crystal Roller Crew does not advance based on how everything else shakes out. Of course, like if they win tonight, then it's kind of irrelevant. Okay, look at that spike tile.
Nice spike tile. Yeah, it's one of those situations where they absolutely control their own destiny. Oh, look at that Zaf with a smart play there, putting down that bomb to pop himself back up with no Moon Pearl and no flippers. And he got that piece of heart refill.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't proceed after that, but at least he still got to check both chests.
Yeah. Alright. Zaf with some more health, a hammer, and a way to like disable the world, the sand. I guess, are they antlions? I forget their exact name.
I think they're antlions.
If they're not antlions, they're basically antlions. I was gonna go check Zaha's closet. And probably Eastern. Let's see, anything in the castle itself? You have lamp, we have the key. Zaf probably will go to Dark Cross for reverse here. Oh, look at that's a wonderful ball chain card. Unfortunately, Karma's screen was cut off, so we don't see what's on the ledge. But we're running out of places where this Moon Pearl. Well, actually, no. We have all of well, we have Rescuing Guildman and Spectacle Rocket launching as well now with the lamp and the glove. Oh god.
And now we can go into desert. Sure, this is fine.
We can beat desert. Well, we can theoretically. No, there's no kill rooms in desert. We can beat desert.
Plus or minus whoever the boss is.
True.
That is one holdover to Logical Randomizer from the normal version. That change that was made several years ago now, where the compass, once you have it, will tell you who the boss of the dungeon is.
True. You are logically expected to be able to collect the compass before picking up the dungeon prize, but of course, that also means it could just straight up be on the dungeon boss. In some cases. I guess Karma's going to be the one who's going to go dash and take care of the rest of the castle. Oh dear god, look at that snake room.
Firebar, 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 firebar.
It's like a Kaizo hack. Front of escape appears to have been fire object. Okay. I don't know if I saw a freezer, but it's hard to pay attention to 4 screens at once. At least
that's what makes it fun, because for our runners, it's one person trying to pay attention to one screen, and it can still go horribly, horribly wrong.
Yeah. Alright, well, Zaf's going to be the one to go into Eastern here. Eastern versus Desert, I don't love your options here, but... It's Crystal Eastern. Okay, Red Crystal Eastern.
And it's entirely possible that Eastern is beatable here, as long as there's nothing in the kill rooms that we don't have the things to kill yet, and that the boss is not insusceptible to the weapons we actually have. There are a whole lot more ifs in Randomizer.
Yeah, I don't know where the fire block was. We had lamp. Unless there was a red dairy and Karma becoming friends with the antlion again.
More intentionally this time from the looks of it.
Yeah. Alright.
Trinex is gonna go, grab the under the bridge item here. Been doing a lot of fake flipper water walk shenanigans.
Yeah. I mean, starting boot's kind of trivialized. Oh, good. They've placed a statue on top of the. They placed the. Okay, I appreciate Randomizer. I don't think a BMO should be able to spawn on that particular enemy spot. It seems incredibly cruel.
Alright, Eastern Darkroom. This can be a little hectic, in fact is.
We have a red Gria. Oh wait, no, doesn't mind. Doesn't matter. What did it spawn in the Igor spot? That's gonna go grab the full magic refill. Yeah, Zaf should have probably taken the fairy fountain refill, but some members of this team are bad with bombs and money. Others are bad with money. He's bad with health.
Now, the thing
balance this
about
out.
going into that refill room is those might not be fairies. In fact, they're probably not fairies.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have
Logical Randomizer.
Logical Randomizer. Fairies are shuffled as well. I wonder if that's what Allison was trying to get him to do. This will make Harapot funny. Okay, well, we are hookshot locked out of.
Not beating Eastern right now.
No. And I think Zaf is gonna make the play for the mountain while Karma goes checks this, finds out it's 300 bucks, and then one of the two of them, Karma will head for desert. Wait, where's the Moon Pearl? Was that on the Hobo?
That's an excellent question. I missed it, but Trinex certainly didn't because he's running around in the Dark World at 3.
It's on Hobo. It's on
Interesting.
Hobo.
So where are the flippers? Desert?
Flippers are in desert or in Spectacle Rock. Okay, well, that's actually really nice for 2Pearl2Furious because they're going to kind of skip some of this logical chain. I don't think Oase knows that it is Argus.
He does.
Because,
He walked into the room and saw it and saved and quit.
Alright. So it has to be Flippers in desert or one of the next two checks on the old man. Oh. Actually, you know what? If it's mirror locking Flippers, that's actually really nice for Crystal Whirler. Because that'll mean they'll have the mirror for their Dark World exploration. That's a vanilla mirror, by the way. I don't think it'll take a while for 2Pearl2Furious to find it. But... what's on the Ether Tablet? Nothing. Now, Swamp is our other raid, so we are going to need Flippers at a point. We can't just ignore them this seed.
And at the very least, 2Pearl is going to know that it has to be relatively early, given the Moon Pearl location.
Yeah. Karma trying to bait out the last enemy that hadn't spawned. Ew, it's bitty. I don't envy Karma right now.
Didn't even see what Trinex killed there in the Thieves' Town boss room.
No.
Kinda guessing it was a moth the way it vanished before I even noticed he was in the fight, but yeah, maybe not.
Is Logical Randomizer a thing on the Vitor branch? The answer is
say it's in the Doors branch, isn't it?
This particular version of it is. There was a seed blade earlier today, which accidentally the preset had the wrong version of it. So they fixed it for this match in particular.
Also, that was a bow, I believe, that Oase just pulled off of the catfish.
Who knows? Hook shot and flipper. Ooh.
That is an interesting place for those behind the mirror on the old man rescue, and it doesn't seem like 2Pearl is in any hurry to head up the mountain.
No. I mean, you got a lot of Dark World available. I think Zaf is going to take the mirror, take the hookshot to beat Hera. And then Hera. Because this is in logic. The big key was in the basement, was on the ground floor.
Now, plus or minus the boss, this should be a beatable pod for Oase here.
Yeah. Alright. Helmet time.
This is a really annoying place for Helmasaur King. Zaf going with bombs rather than hammer, it makes a lot of sense. The bombs will still work on the mask when Helma's over the hole. The hammer really doesn't.
I think he's got 2 or 3 more hits left. Unfortunately, hammering this part of the fight's really annoying.
Is challenging to say the least.
And he got
Ooh,
ult.
yeah, that was... You have to get aggressive with it because that up hammer hitbox without a sword to extend it is not great, to put it mildly, and so you're going in and trying to deboost off of Helma and come back in for a hammer hit while you still have your iframes. And yeah, sometimes you get booped in the wrong direction. It happens.
Yeah, at least if Karma's gonna pull the mids here, I think Zaf's probably gonna bail. There's a chance Zaf will bail, but...
And assuming that they want to do this fight at all, 2Pearl is going to have a bit of an advantage when they get to it having that bow for the second phase. Assuming they haven't found a sword or two between now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, Karma's gonna go do the flipper checks. And then eventually go do Kingstown. Bunch. Wondering if something's maybe on Argus and Eastern. But then again, flippers and hookshot. We can also do swamp. Karma preemptively getting ready for this Helma fight by buying a bomb upgrade. Has the money. 4 hammer hits.
Oh, no, he had 3. Well, I'll say he's being chased around by that mini mold worm while that fire bar spins around and makes his life miserable.
Yeah. Alright, Karma. Zaf's gonna go get mids and then probably end up checking Kingston. Well, they're gonna go check Kingston immediately, okay. So.
And Trinex is going to have a look around in Desert here, probably hoping to put the logical chain back together, and instead going to get the information that, no, it's in the other 2 logical checks you had left.
Yeah. Karma buying bombs despite, yeah. Right. It's Vanilla Helma. Zaz getting his. His Moon Pearls will be the last one. Is not getting his Moon Pearls out.
Did he not pick up his mitts yet?
I'm guessing they had a bit of a
communication flub there, maybe?
yeah. Karma's gonna go up for Pyramid and then maybe end as a Catfish.
No, he has the mitts. I don't know. That was a bit of potato brain by Zaf there, I think.
Yeah. More statues. Now, Trinex, unfortunately, has the ability to really, actually kill Vitreous.
It's not terrible. You can use a little bomb, you can use a little bow, you can use a little hammer. You can get the job done. You just have to be kind of careful.
Yeah. Karma is skipping Catfish, though, so probably going to be the first round to actually finish off Eastern Palace here. At least for Ether. Zav's doing Village and say with Naomira is going to take a death. Few smalls so far. Now, the good thing about Vitreous and not in his room is that the floor isn't poisoned, so you can, kind of stand to the side here. Well.
Which is both positive and negative. You can use the slime as a damage boost normally, because it does a whole lot less damage than getting run over by one of those eyeballs does.
Yeah.
But Trinex seems to be having a really easy time at this. Ish.
Yeah. And has... Yeah, 17 arrows. Plenty. Alright, so I saw all the small keys. So either Skullwoods is extremely backloaded, is going to be both items in Firebound locked, or...
20 rupees on that boss, and of course the pendant.
Yeah. So now they know that it should be the old man that's going to get them into logic. The question is how long does it take for them to act that it's the old man? Knowing that it's flippers. Because they still have, back at Thieves Town. I guess probably, and you probably don't want to go up to Mountain without the Mirror or the Hookshot. And unfortunately, both Mirror and Hookshot are above the mountain. So let's see.
So far we have 2 Helmas, a Vitreous, and an Argus, right? And whatever was in Thieves?
Yeah. Yeah, Vanilla Helma. This one will go a lot easier for... Well, Customer Crew doesn't have the bow yet, so they're going to have to come back for that to do Helma, but there wasn't really anything in the back of... just Ether. But they'll bomb jump to that. Because there is still a hard bow check in pod where you have to shoot the statue in order to move the wall. Karma hook shots into the floating skull. Not what he was really intending for.
Just Inamizer doing Inamizer things.
Yeah.
Looks like Awase from 2Pearl is going to head up the mountain now, going to start finding all of those goodies.
Yeah. Oh no.
Or not.
Yeah, this is the problem where it's like, I know... This is kind of the problem that they have where it's like, I kind of... know I have stuff in logic, but... So many cards
all of those out of logic checks are so tempting.
Yeah, he's gone back for it. I guess he got talked into it. I was just gonna see what the boss is. Oh, it's just Moldorm. Okay.
Oh, it's Moldorm. Okay. The other boss that would die really quickly in this arena. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Another boss that is very much defenseless without its room.
Yeah. Oh, it's a mail upgrade. Yeah, no, I think it's the news about the show, the mirror.
To which Trinex says, "Aw shucks, I'm carrying this purple chest the old-fashioned way."
Yeah.
One save and quit at a time. So as you mentioned, when CRC first found that mirror, it is going to be potentially advantageous to them getting to do all those mirror checks in and amongst Dark World loops. Whereas anything that happens to be in those, it's going to be a one-off that 2Pearl is going to have to find a way back to.
Yeah, like Zeph. Like, the one thing that right now, the bad thing for Crystal Rolker is kind of that bow being on Catfish, but they'll get to that soon enough. Like, there's worse checks to find.
They'll run out of other options eventually, but
Yeah.
it seems fairly likely that Zaphikel is going to wind up in Swamp in the near future, rather than making the play all the way up to Catfish.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, Swamp's not the worst thing. At this point, we can kill just about any boss, except for Trinix or Cold Stare, so... it'll be slow if it's...
I think we've got Bombos, so Cold Stare's on the menu.
We don't have a sword yet.
Oh, well, yeah, but there's always a sword in Swamp, right? It'll be fine.
Yeah. Seems...
Memes and all, but at this point we're starting to run out of locations because it can't. The first logical sword, anyway, can't be in one of the medallion dungeons because it would be self-locking. So where else are you going to go find it? Similarly, Ice Palace, if you don't have a sword and you don't have the fire rod, you're not using bombos to get in there either. So the midst dungeons are all off the menu right now.
Yeah. A good pattern. Trinix is going to be the first one to go into Skullwoods. I don't think Zav did. Zav did Big Key Chest. No bumpers or... Oh, nice sword. Well, there's our first sword.
Yeah, that's logical in a manner of speaking. We're just going about it the wrong way.
Yeah. It's got to be really annoying when he discovers that there was a much easier way to do this. The true mini boss, Hammer Coldster. Hammer Argus.
Yeah, just a few too many items in the way to make that by a quick swap.
Yeah, it does put combo that, but that sword will be in logic once OSA pulls the sword soon. It does mean like if Coldster shows up, it's in logic now. And killable, just annoying.
Trinex having a bit of an adventure in the mummy statue room and says, well, you know, here's what I have for adventures. I have a hammer. And when you have a hammer...
Okay. Well, Bobo's tablet is nothing either. I wonder if Karma will probably drop down and take 5 warp and go into the Dark World. And then find the bow and catfish. Yeah. Oh, he pulled the shovel out of the back of pod. Alright, what's on Ped? Unfortunate.
Looks like Trinex has gotten the good news. Here's where all the goodies are. Come and get them.
Yeah. Karma's gonna go up the mountain and find the first sword. I wonder how far Zaph will go. It's a sword, but it is Bombos and Alright, memes aside, there was a sword in Swamp.
It seemed pretty likely. It became less likely when Owase found that hookshot locked sword in Hookshot Cave, but
Yeah.
It still seemed pretty likely.
Yeah. What was our Bombos for TR? Zaph's gonna skip left side Swamp and Randomizer with Boss Shuffle. Alright, Zaph.
It's probably fine. And Owase peeking the medallion from Meyer, but I didn't catch it.
Yeah. Where was the flute? Was that...
Well, Karma has it as well, so I'm operating under the assumption that it was Super Bunny.
Alright. I wonder... It's blind. So right now, both teams are getting very close to like equal knowledge, though. Trinex has the Oh yeah, trying to kill you to desert, and oh, I also did pod. Oh. Chicken powder.
And Zaf is just going to wait for Blind to come down, stop trying to pretend to be Mothula, stay off the top of the room.
Yeah. Oh, it was the one debacle chest in Hookshot Cave.
Oh, okay.
That would have actually been really funny for a mislocation. For a potential flippers thing, but when actually no flip. Yeah, we would have had to fight flippers first. Ase's gonna head into swamp. So CRC really needs to get that bow. That's the problem. But that bow's not at a good spot for them anymore, unless Karma's gonna go and do like Graveyard Ledge into Catfish and then check Mire. Kind of like shore up that out. Zaf just hates left side swamp with a passion. Oh, I guess the fire rod is up there too, so we're gonna do Skullwoods. So we're potentially in go mode right now. Depending on if Atronic shows up. Not the runner, the boss.
Yeah, provided that it's in the way, anyway. And
Yeah.
it could
Oh.
show up but be non-required.
Oh, okay, I guess there was a bow and Mire shit. Never mind. I am paying attention to everyone. So... Yeah, we're just straight in go mode. Barring Ice Rod shenanigans. The Silver Zone will be really nice for 2Pearl2Furious. If we can't find the Tempered Sword or Gold Sword.
I don't think that floating skull was actually in the correct/incorrect sprite slot to prevent the Spexy statue there, but Owase gave it one try, missed it, and said, you know what, I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way rather than yutzing around with it.
Yeah. This will be trying to doubling up Eastern and Pod.
Owase is also going to eschew left side swamp, at least for the moment. And we're not going to see a diver down here.
Yeah, I mean, Randomizer is sometimes a lot of run. It can mess up setups. Especially if you have like fire snakes or something in there that shouldn't be there.
Oh, I think in our haste to reach go mode, we may have forgotten something important.
My air medallion is Quake.
I was going to say Red Cane.
Oh, Samaria. Oh, yeah, never mind. We have Samaria.
The advantage of our lovely trackers and lighting the things up at the time. Oh, Karma's got it though. Did he just pull that off the boss while I was glancing at everybody else?
Alright.
Because it is an important sort of thing. You are going to need it.
Yeah, Karma's gotta go flute and go to Meyer, check Meyer shit for a bow, obviously. And then they'll be in go mode. The sword is going to be the... Oh, the fireball's on Magic Bat. Ew.
That's a bit of a disgusting place for that.
Hey, it's a fire rod that locks magic... It's a magic powder that locks the red cane. Gotta love medallion usage.
Wase with 2 swords for this fight, with sword beams, is just going to start fighting. Going to save a little time over Zaf's version of the fight.
Well, that's a wonderful place for a statue.
Yeah. Karma's going to have to pull that out of the way.
Jesus Christ.
That is a really exciting enemy placement.
I'm pretty sure this is where you... oh, wait, no, but... oh,
You
dude,
literally have to pull this all the way down to the door. Oh my.
So normally, so in Ocarina of Time Randomizer, there's a special set of techniques in Spirit Temple called bow crap. And it's called bow crap because it involves you pulling a Armo statue up a flight of stairs. It's very reminiscent of that. Yes, Allison knows exactly what I'm talking about. There's a sister check, but that doesn't involve the statue. Oh, and we have a red Igor in Meyer lobby, of course. It'd be really nice to find the Sword of Meyer. Of course, no red cane means we're not... no red cane for 2Pearl2Furious. They're still kind of looking for it.
One of those things that they're not going to be able to get away without, and it is somewhat forcing Owase's hand in this left side.
They have been... oh, they never checked powder. So they don't know that it's the fire rod's there. Fortunate. Zaf is just going to rip the band-aid off and just take care of this stupid... they're going to be chasing each other for a little bit. Well, Zaf has to get the bow anyway. So we'll start chasing. They're just going to start following each other now, I think, because they need to get to GT about the same time.
You're in a position where plus or minus the ice rod, you're just trying to clear everything out. So whichever dungeon you do in whatever order is not going to be all that meaningful in the grand scheme of things. You hopefully have a little bit of a split when you make it to TR, but if you don't, it's not the end of the world.
That's gonna go to ice, I guess. Yeah. Karma gets the spooky action anyway.
Yeah, he got it on the shadow.
Nice.
Armos Knights in Meyer. Okay.
Time to spend some more money to go buy an arrow refill when you go to Ice Palace, Karma.
Another boss, another cane. This is fine. We're going to run out of canes eventually, though, Tofile.
Yeah, well, that would have been a cane that you would have hoped for just before then, just to, like, help see some arrows, but, you know. Karma's gonna go grab the fairy bottle because it's a fairy bottle, and better to have some form of safety in this randomizer.
It's the kind of thing you're not going to say no to for this kind of a time investment when you know that things like GT Climb are still lurking ahead of you.
Yeah.
And the potential for something really nasty on ice.
Yeah, and here we go, Ozzy's into desert. No thoughts about chicken powder. Trinex doesn't even have the powder. Karma's gonna go grab the fairy bottle. 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 Karma's gonna go That's really unfortunate. I guess they kind of made their peace with not going back into the village of Alkaz until they really had to, even though they got the... I'm really surprised they never checked it, even though they had the flute, and they had to turn the flute on. That's a really lovely bumper placement right there.
High quality bumper placements.
Yes. So it's things like this that you enjoy Randomizer for. Some people like to randomly shuffle around dungeon rooms. Other people just like to go watch people dash into things that shouldn't be there.
We haven't really had a lot of Lionel hugging today. I'm a little
No.
disappointed in this Randomizer.
No, there hasn't been a... the Lionel repopulation project IRL has not really taken root.
Not only that, but we haven't really had Roller City anywhere. We've seen a couple, but not one of those Randomizer rooms where you walk in and you go, ooh, that's a lot of rollers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the map chest was the big key that had the sword.
One of those things that you're not going to skip when you're still on one.
No.
Even if a third one shows up somewhere else, you don't want to be in the point where that third one is something you have to find because it's the second one for you.
We have Lambolas here.
Having a little bit of a pokey fight here in Trinex's Eastern Palace Vale big key location.
Yeah. Oh no, and then the very Zero doing its best job to like. Well, there we go. Ooh, and unless it takes a death, might have that fairy. But Ice Rod on the boss of Ice Palace, which was Lambolas. So Crystal Roller Crew just gonna gun it for the end now.
Straight up and go mode, maybe you open some things along the way, but you're going to have to find some big keys anyway, so you kind of hope that a sword pops out while you're doing that, but it's not something you're going to go out of your way for anymore.
Yeah. This does mean without silvers right now, unless there's a sword, that 2Pearl2Furious is kind of running at a 2-minute advantage. Just by having silvers. But...
And it remains more convenient as long as another sword doesn't turn up, because the silvers is something you can turn to your advantage to make things go away.
Yeah. But yeah. So Zav's gonna go clear up Meyer, Eastern, and Pod. And then Carmisil has to do Pod and Ice, and then they'll meet up in TR. Zaf, now it's Zaf's time to have fun with the statue.
Well, I'll say finding out about the land molas in Ice Palace.
So, yeah, but right now we are at 2 crystals for 2Pearl2Furious each, and 2 and 3 for Crystal Roller Crew. Yeah.
On Crystal count, we're reasonably even, all things considered, but 2Pearl needs to find their way to make that powder check, because without that, they're going to wind up missing the entire rest of the chain.
They don't have a lot left, which is the good and the bad. It's a good, and I don't think it was a really bad mire for the big key, so Karma's gunning it. So Zaf's able to gun it. Honestly, if I'm Zaf, once I beat Arnold's here, I'd probably just buy the arrow, refill it. Upgrade Fairy with the flute, but we'll see if he opts to do that.
It can be tough when you're in the competitive head-to-head situation and you're thinking, do I have the time for that? Can I make this arrow thing work out some other way?
Yeah. But
when it comes to Inamizer, I'm with you, though. I feel like if I can spend the extra 10 seconds to make sure that I have the resource that I'm probably going to need going forward, just go ahead and do it rather than really having to fish around in prize packs for it.
yeah, I mean, Zaf has almost enough arrows. Yeah. One more. Fortunately, this is Oase going into Caneless Mire without the cane, and this is going to be really painful because Oase is going to have to do this statue push strings. He doesn't know it yet, but honestly, if somebody could send me Allison, if you could send me a clip of the statue strategy Spirit Temple map chest, I'd ask Hobson for it, but he's asleep, I'm pretty sure.
And now Owase is discovering just how bad this is.
Yes. Yes, he is. Ah, we get to see what the big mom is. I wonder if there'll be a sword. Yes, yes, the boast. It's for educational purposes for later. Oh, good. The snag, the picket didn't actually eat the shield.
Trinex with nothing off of that big bomb is going to flute to 8. So again, 2Pearl is just going to hard dodge the overworld check that's going to send them on the proper path.
Yeah. Karma's heading for pod. Zaf's heading for pod. Zaf needs a small key. Yeah, but I think right now, like, Crystal Royal Cruiser's motoring.
We're starting to reach that point where even if 2Pearl happens to find another sword while they're fishing around in mire, it's probably not going to help them overly much.
No, not especially considering that the entrance to that mire. Just half magic. Carmen didn't do left side mire, but understandable. One item from go. and just going to make liberal use of bombos.
Randomizer, it's what Bombos does best. Get some simultaneous Helmasaur King fights here from Crystal Roller Crew.
So Karma's at 6 crystals, Zav's at 5, and is going to go get his 6, so Karma's going to be leading this for a while. And probably going to just straight up, with TR being TR, oh, Karma's going to, no, Karma, you already beat the Eastern. Yeah, the best
habit. You're pairing up the bow dungeons, and of course you would do pod first. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. It basically, like Armalex is saying in chat, like the best case right now for 2Pearl2Furious is Temper Sword doesn't pop for Crystal Roller Crew, and that's like 3 minutes. But right now, that's a 3 minutes of having to. They still have to go check powder. They still have to go beat the boss in Skull Loads. I think this is finally going to be Fire Rod. Or this will be K45. Did somebody just not check Magic? I think they checked Magic Bat and they didn't? I'm wondering if that's happened. Somebody just thought they did Magic Bat and they...
It does happen from time to time. You get a little crosstalk in the communication channel there with your teammate, and you kind of put the check out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. Let's see what Ossie's going to do here. Alright. Okay, Ossie's going to discover fire right now. But yeah, they're tracking too far behind, unfortunately, at this point. We could stop the Karma's audio. Eight big band tonight from Karma. Are there any more races tonight? I do not believe we have anything scheduled for tonight. I will pull up the schedule.
Unless there have been any last-minute additions, I believe you are correct about that.
Yeah, we were very late Monday and Tuesday for this week.
It feels like the scheduling may have been a bit minimized. We're light on the schedule just in general at the moment, and I expect that's going to fill in as we get through the next day or so.
Yeah.
But there are lots of questions yet to be answered in both the Open and the Invitational Leagues. We have some teams that are still trying to lock in a playoff spot. CRC looks like they're on the way to doing that themselves this evening. We've got some games that are in the Invitational League going to be to be potential relegation matches, but particularly of note there, Past the Potence and Risky and Terrible Gambits, both at 1 win on the season like 2Pearl, but they're in the same division. And I believe Potence holds the tiebreaker there, so they're going to be playing head-to-head, and Risky and Terrible Gambits has to win both.
I believe that is the case.
Risky and Terrible Gambits was in my team's division last year, and those guys are better than some people give them credit for, and the problem is I've got friends on Past the Potence as well, and I don't really want to see any of them lose, but the underdog story is, it's strong with the Risky and Terrible Gambits, it really is.
Yeah.
Is going to fight the Vanilla Moth here and receive the very non-standard Red King.
You know who's pretty safe for relegation in the Kakariko division right now?
Who's that?
Garrison, Vex, and Torskimati.
Oh yeah, those guys. I
think you know them.
Might be an outside chance, but it requires a whole lot of shenanigans.
Yeah. What's that team name, by the way?
Milk Carton?
I'm pretty sure that's no. I'm pretty sure that's you know what that team name is. Your former team. That's your former team from last year.
That is, in fact, my team from last year. Vex was called upon to replace me due to certain life circumstances of mine that necessitated me not playing, unfortunately.
That's fine.
Vex was a previous teammate of Maddie's, though, so it's kind of a bit of a reunion team, if anything.
Yeah. Cape on Laser Bridge. Not the... Unfortunately, we don't have half magic, but...
That is one of those things that Karma did not find in the trek through Misery Mire, and Cape's still not a bad safety, but you're going to have to use it kind of sparingly if you're going to use it at all.
Yeah, there is a bottle, but... we'll see how the Ganon fight will play out. We've put the ice boss in the fire dungeon. Actually, more specifically, this is like a link between Worlds Light. You know, they replaced. They put Ice Palace in Turtle Rock, and they put Turtle Rock in Ice Palace. Fortunately, we are looking very heavily at an Ice Trinex right now. Because we haven't seen a Trinex, and we've seen all of our Pendant Dungeons bosses. And they can't spawn into Moldorm 2's arena.
The thing is, particularly when you're still on Master Sword, it's not a whole lot better of a fight in the Landmo 2 arena.
No.
It's not ice, it's not one of the most terrifying things in all of Boss Miser, but still, it's not great.
No. Oh, there's a blue potion. Yeah, I'd grab the cape. But okay, well, never mind. There's Tempered Sword. That's really, really big for Crystal Reliquary. Pretty much a free Tempered Sword.
Going to make life a lot easier.
Ice Trinex, still not an easy fight, but now considerably less of an issue. Okay, Gold Sword, never mind. You're just getting Gold Sword because you want to neutralize Shrines completely. And that's about as free as you're going to get for swords.
And Karma with enough of an edge in time that he's just going to go ahead and do the Stalco's Room and move off to the right strat.
Yeah, I always, in boss shuffle, I always like doing, I think Dark Magician route is almost certainly the best route. If you're running solo. Right now, Karma's at such a time difference with Zaf that he kind of has to anyway. Just because you kind of want to be able to push that boss off it on the ice as long as possible. Especially if it's Ice Trinix. If you know it can't be Ice Trinix, then I'm not really opposed to like doing my usual like Hulk Room left or whatnot. But it's Compass Room, so Zaf's just gonna skip the ice boss.
Not only Compass Room, but in the Compass Chest.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, normally, like in a lot of cases, in COD, you just go right there. Zav's gonna get those 2 swords. Those 2 swords are enough, and with Randomizer, just being able to 2-shot, 1-shot or 2-shot just about any other climb is gonna be really nice.
If it wasn't Randomizer, maybe you say I'm only going to take the 1 and go grab my big key and go. But yeah, in Randomizer, being in that position where you don't necessarily know what's coming next, and even when you do, sometimes the room is just that bad.
Yeah. I mean, I won't let us kill statues, but
Both about to land on the Armless Knights here in Ezrin Mire.
yeah.
Twinex should have an especially fun time since, well, the only one of our runners, I can read a tracker, sure, Oase has both bows, this is fine.
Yeah. How about here? Okay, here comes Twinex. Well.
Surprise, surprise.
Beautiful magic. Zaf will probably make a stop over into refill room to grab the full magic there.
Karma's having a bit of an adventure here with the Firehead. Gets through it though.
Yeah.
Of course, the problem with a boss here where you need to use magic and you don't know what's coming up next is sometimes the next handful of rooms after you get out of here are not so great, and all of a sudden you're down to a quarter or less of your magic bar.
Yeah, and there's only small magic here in the next room. Hey, try next to Shell. Nasa's heading for Turtle Rock. Having 6, I mean, like 2Pearl2Furious is at 6 wrist. Is going to be at 6 wrist shortly. It's just they're on the Crystal Roller Cruise now through and on the climb, and unfortunately, like when you're not having to charge spin attacks to kill again, and it shortens. It's very the fight shortens quite a bit.
Whatever that was in the middle of the clock, Karma just gave it a whack with the gold sword and said, go away.
Zaf is just getting bodied by this one green guard. Or red guard. Zaf looking to have a much cleaner kill here than Karma was.
Tried to let the ice head get away, but he locked it back down. Trinex is going to go ahead and fill up on a little potion here. Again, it's Randomizer, it makes a lot of sense. Go ahead and spend the extra 10 seconds to have the safety, because you don't know, especially when you get into GT, what it's going to look like.
Ah, I see Ganon's most fearsome trap. Giving us all 4 swords before fighting Mothula. Fortunately, this isn't the vanilla game and we have a patch to downgrade that damage. So I can take damage from Gold Sword. Without pokes. Yeah.
And no surprise, Wallmaster in the final Hell Wave game Karma into Aga 2.
Yeah. I think that was a double.
That was a nothing, though.
These haven't been really good Aga patterns. That was a good triple, though. Alright. You shouldn't be taking more than four warps. Those first 2 warps are absolutely horrible, basically. Putting himself at a right angle. But those last 2 were pretty much tailored made for triples. Oh, I forgot. Oh, look where that statue is in Turtle Rock for Oase.
Yep.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, and we're... Oh, no, he got it. I wondered when he went out and reset the room if he had run into some kind of a logical Randomizer trap there. Or has he? I think he has, yeah. But he needs to burn down that red key-bearing Bari.
Yes. Yeah, red berries can only be killed with fire because
of reasons.
Well, because normally they split. Yeah, I'll say no. We'll see if Trinex is going to be able to help him. Alright, we are on phase 3, and
Yeah, Trinex is just going to burn him with the fire rod and not have a problem.
yeah. So I guess the news where Silvers were. Honestly, was if Silver's being on Catfish, I think there's a chance that one of them goes and gets it after beating Aga too, if they were still on Master. Considering Zaf might have gone and got it, but yeah. Karma's done.
One pig, mini explosions, and a sword raised high in the air. Go ahead and get your GGs in chat for IV Karma, who is going to be the first of our Forerunners done tonight.
Yep. Finishing with the race time of 1:17:45. Zaf's now on to phase 3 again, and so should be finishing up in the next couple minutes. Like... Hi, Karma.
Hola.
Sorry.
597 spins later, we'll let Zaf come in here and join you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to, I didn't think that was going to send you the invite. My apologies.
And that is the bridge crossed for Zafkel, so Crystal Roller Crew is going to take this game. That, I do believe, locks them into a playoff position.
Yeah. GG's. GG's.
Thank you.
GG's.
So Zeph, how about Helmasaur?
No,
Raphael,
don't get him started.
If I knew where you lived right now, I would drive through your house. Honest to God, this isn't a threat. Recorded live on SpeedGaming 3, this is a promise. Give me your address, I will see you within the next 12 hours.
I live on the 3rd floor of an apartment building. You're going to have a hard time.
Watch me, motherfucker.
Oh no.
Oh, hold on.
Gaming.
Anyway, let's. Oase is hovering the Trinex gap for fun.
Yeah, he got a good halfway there, and now he's just gonna say, no, you know what, it was good enough.
Yeah. GG's. Congratulations. I'm pretty sure this was one of the things that you had to have done to not miss playoffs. So, congratulations on making the playoffs.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
All in all, like it was a really interesting seed. A lot of fun Randomizer shenanigans. That front of Meyer, for example.
And you guys got bailed out with the Bow and Meyer shed. 2Pearl did not get bailed out regarding the fire rod to Cane of Samaria combo there. That was a bit of a problem for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was
until that point in time, you guys were up by a grand total of 1 crystal.
Okay, because I was really curious. Nothing felt good about this seed, so I was like, granted, I spent the first like 3.5 minutes after the whole Helmasaur debacle, like playing sideways in my chair. So I was wondering entirely. GG's, Trinex.
GG's.
Jeez.
So have you been playing Hunting Horn before, or is that just kind of a new one for this one? For this,
I've wanted to Hunting Horn. I've never done it, but honestly, the Hunting Horn memes for World were so phenomenal, and so like, sorry, I don't really care that we just played a game. Oh, that's what
no,
you
same.
might do. Yeah, same.
GG's.
GG's.
I feel like I owe you because I missed out on FGL last year, like a very long, strong beer conversation about Monster Hunter. I'm like super behind in everything we were talking about in our thread, where like you're playing Xenoblade, like I'm still beating up Metaphor. I've got Octopath Traveler, and I bought Wilds and like 5 other things. So.
Octopath is a lot of fun too, so you gotta be in the mood for that kind of older style of RPG.
That's the thing, is that like that's the stuff I grew up with, and so I love it. I just like the wanting to devote an entire weekend and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start at 6 p.m. on a Friday, and oh god, my alarm for Monday work is going off, and I'm like, yeah.
We're sidetracked sideways. Sorry guys. There's a conversation going on in game in the room chat.
Just unbroken conversation since before the race started. So.
Yeah. Matt Ewok heard, she was like, hey, yeah, we're like, oh, we're not sure how long it goes. And my last comment before like the game started was, all right, Monster Hunter Wilds. So, but yeah, we missed, I guess, the bow on Catfish. But also, so I spent, I think you joined in, I spent about 3.5 minutes basically playing falling out of my chair because I tried to do Hammer Helma in the top of Hera. Karma then found the mitts into Moonpearl, and at that point, I could not see straight. I was seeing every other color under the rainbow aside from red, so I like save and quit to the wrong spot twice to get Moonpearl. So like,
so did you actually have sword by the time you were in Hera doing Hammer Helma?
No.
Fair enough. Because like that's actually like extremely hard, especially in the wrong arena. Like, because the hammer is like a 1 pixel thing without spin speed, right?
Yeah, the worst part is, it's something that like we've done enough with Randomizer, whereas like y'all said in the pregame we don't practice. Like this is the one thing that Karma and I do. It's just nothing but Randomizer. It's like non-league, and we're like, hey bud, what do you want to do? I don't know, co-op Randomizer? Sure, because we hate each other. So
isn't also the hitbox is also kind of weird in that arena too?
It's janked because of the pit. So like the
if he's over the pit, you can't hit him.
Was it my fun one this seed was I did not know how Eastern big key chest works with the BMOS there, because I forgot there was a pot there normally. So I just kept walking into it, I killed everything in the room, nothing happened, and I just like luckily pressed A on it and picked up the thing, but that was my fun one. The statue in Meyer entrance was great.
Yeah, I didn't know about that one either. I was like, wait, I can't get by this. Oh god, we have to drag it all the way.
Okay, so it's funny. Muffins pinged me in League General chat today, because what happened is a practice seed that I rolled a couple days ago when I was just memeing with Kaysden, there was a statue in my entryway, and the first thing I did was like, it was bad. I like opened up the first person I could think of that's like dev'd this Randomizer stuff, and I was like, at Muffins, what in the cinnamon toast 7 layers of hell have you done? Right? And it happened again today, and I forgot to tell Karma. He's like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, you got to pull that literally to the entrance, and then waddle on past it." So yeah, it's logical Randomizer exists in a society all on its own.
Yeah. So at the very end, we got to TR. We just basically finished it as you guys were finishing it, and I think that Alase was a little bit ahead of me, and I think I just didn't realize the berry key needs to be killed with a fire rod or incineration.
Oh no.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were killing Trinics when you guys were hitting credits. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like for both of y'all, say Trinics, we were hoping that Crystal Roller Crew wasn't going to find 2 more swords, just so you tried to get those couple minutes back with Master Sword Silverless Trinics. No offense, Zaf.
No, that's fine. The way I was playing, I had ham for hands, man. I could feed a family.
Unfortunately, like Tempered Sword was on the torch, and then Gold Sword was in Stalfo's room. So
of course, everything's free at that point.
No silver. Well, we didn't get silvers because we didn't do catfish, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, catfish was our first bow. It was kind of just a random dash up Alase did, and he went straight into pod and did some stuff. So.
Yeah.
I went straight into pod. I went from hype to pyramid to pod.
Yeah, we talked about, because we'll normally do like the ledge and the catfish, but the whole sequence of things was like, all right, like with the hook shot, it's like, okay, maybe we need to actually get Eastern back on the table, get Swamp done quick. And I was just like cleaning up the entire overworld. So at that point, like Karma starts finding like all of these things, goes to DDM, gets the powder and the fire on. And it's like, all right, dude, let's just play like we're in go mode. And then Ice Rod being on the way, I was like, okay, we're actually in go mode no matter what. Like, just go. So.
Did anybody actually do desert for no reason? Or...
We did.
Okay.
I did everything but the boss.
Yeah, we didn't kill Vitreous.
Yeah, I did video after the fact, but thankfully I was trying to backfill where the flippers might have been, because we were late on Mountain, so we didn't get the mirror in the rest of it for a bit. So after I did my first dip to Dark World, I'm like, well, thankfully I didn't do this beforehand, but if this was logic, it'd be a huge pain in the ass.
Oh, so y'all water walked ferry into Hobo?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. So we had logic the whole way through, which is why that felt so weird.
Okay.
Like that. Yeah.
And we did. What was I just thinking? I don't know. I talked about doing Biddy. I even after I was going to Hobo, just in case the mitts did not lead to the Pearl, I bought 35 bombs.
Yeah, we were preparing for the worst case Biddy scenario. It was like, all right, well, I don't know what to do, but let's do it.
Well, it was nice that these gave you like 1,000 rupees to start with, so you could have gone, maxed up all your stuff.
I had 1,200 after Zora.
Karma, Armor Like City's proud of you, by the way, in chat.
Which part? Where I actually went and bought arrows because I thought I might need them?
No, buying the bombs, just in case.
Oh, yeah. That was just in case, because we were down to like the one item we left in Hera, green pendant plus the item we left in Desert on Vinny, and then King's Tomb, and that was it. It was those 3 locations.
Yeah.
This was good. This was fun to actually get the first one out of the system for Oase. Then tomorrow, when it's Olive and Oase doing it, we'll be ready to go. Like, actually, we'll just rock it.
Yeah.
We won't need mentors anymore. So
yeah, you've learned everything there is to know. Good luck. God bless.
Yes.
You just wait until you get the dead rocks and random kill rooms.
Yeah, that was the one thing I was warning about. Like, if you find powder, please actually tell me where it is and don't just like withhold.
Yeah, and Quake was on the way too. I think it was like somewhere nice.
Wait, sorry, I forgot about that. That one I did forget about. Like, I know he picked it up and just ran right past it. So, well, that was a good thing that we didn't finish.
Well, it wasn't needed.
It wasn't
there was
needed,
no there was no dead rocks in this one. There could be tomorrow.
But this is my last game of League, so it's been a lot of fun. Thank you all for putting on this production, and GG's to you guys tonight, and tomorrow, good luck.
Yeah, GG's.
GG's.
I will be at least bothering you in our thread until they make us close it about RPG, so if literally nothing else, like, our thread will remain open, so you better be checking League Discord. But yeah, GG's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got nothing more. I see y'all tomorrow, so that's it. That's all. Thank y'all, comms. Thanks, SpeedGaming 3. I guess. Thank you, Crackers.
Yeah, no, thank y'all for racing and putting on a great show for us tonight. Thank you, Ben. Do you have anything else?
Just a little look ahead at the schedule for tomorrow. We do have on SpeedGaming Prime coming up tomorrow at noon Eastern. We are also here featuring Malxanthalos and Windfox versus Banana Brigade. That's going to be Yoshi and Titos. And then at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on SpeedGaming 3, Vendrana Drifters, which is going to be Jet and Drac for that game, versus Norsk Maddie and W. Garrison of My Indian Was Supposed to Carry Us. There are also a handful of Open League games coming up tomorrow. I don't know that we have channels for those at the moment, but you can poke around the schedules and have a look-see over on the League Discord. We have multis linked there in case of games that do not wind up on SpeedGaming or the ALTTPR League Twitch channel.
I know that game 2 of this will be tomorrow night. I'm determined if it'll be restreamed. There are some signups for that one, so we'll see. Yeah, no, always a fun week, Randomizer week.
It does make for a very interesting Week 7. It's one of those modes where you can really run into some great equalizers. Sometimes you look at a matchup and you say, well, based on the runners, I think I know how this is going to go. And sometimes Randomizer just throws all of that right into the blender and you say, I don't know, but this will be fun. With all of that said, Tofile, I had a blast. Darak, Sharna, Matt Ewok, thank you so much for tracking for us tonight. Thank you to all of our runners for putting on a lovely show. SpeedGaming 3 for having us. If you have any last words, Tofile, now's the time, but otherwise I think we're closing up shop here.
I'm pretty much good. Hope to see everyone tomorrow for some more Link to Past Randomizer League Randomizer action.